He's just the science guy. That's his science, right? Welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's get right to it. First topic, the Senate has blocked Trump's Women and Girls in Sports Protection Executive Order. Now, not one Democrat voted for this thing, and it just shows you that these people have completely lost their mind and their party has completely gone trans, right? For anybody to not vote for this, to protect women's sports and actually give the women the right to have their own sports and not have men go in their own bathrooms, it's just completely insane. Anybody who would not vote for this has never played a sport in their life and basically just does not care about women. That it's simply the facts of the situation, right? When did women become such like an entity that wanted to be destroyed? The government basically wants to destroy women for some reason and just make it so they have no rights really and no protection whatsoever on a government basis. And for all the people out there trying to say like, well, why can't the trans people just start their own league? I hate to tell you, but that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because first of all, nobody wants to see like fifth-rate men athletes compete against other fifth-rate men athletes. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason the minor leagues don't get much ratings. It's because, there's a higher level. And when it comes to trans in sports and men, there's about 5 higher levels. You know what I'm saying? So the whole why can't they start their own league is that's just an asinine argument to begin with, so nobody's gonna watch, okay? And the thing too about that, the starting their own league, there's no prestige in starting your own league, right? At least they can go to the women's side and win women's medals and trophies that have some prestige to them, and they're trying to pretend they're women, so obviously then it's real, right? It's real. When it's completely not real. If a man goes and wins a women's sports medal or title, it's just not real, folks. Hate to tell you. But all right, let's get to the next topic. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC, thinks Elon Musk is just a billionaire with a lot of money. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
Doge did not exist 2 years ago. 19-year-olds were not raiding the Treasury 2 years ago. People who have no idea with medical background have not been hauling in and creating kangaroo courts for scientists to dismiss them 2 years ago. That started happening now. Elon Musk is not a scientist. He is not an engineer. He is a billionaire con man with a lot of money. He does not have this kind of good background. And in fact, while there's some disruption over that, I sincerely ask you all to examine what expertise he has in approving medical devices, in biomedical engineering devices. And if you all think that he is an expert in that, I've got a bridge to nowhere to sell you.
Yeah, this woman is just going on an all-out attack on Elon, trying to claim how dumb he is when it's just making her look like the biggest moron in Congress. It's insane how she keeps going on these Elon attacks with no substance whatsoever. She never has any real substance to her arguments. It's just, he's just a billionaire. Oh, he's just a billionaire with a lot of money. He's not an engineer. It's like, come on, lady, you have not done anything in your life. Listen, somehow you got into Congress. Good for you. You faked your way in, right? But up until then, I mean, the best thing you were known for is making a cocktail, being a bartender, right? I mean, she probably makes a great drink. I'll give her that. I'm sure she's probably a fun gal when she's not just yapping about just stupid BS like this, But yeah, why don't you stay in your lane of not knowing shit and quit, attacking the smart people in the room like they're the idiots. It just makes you look like the idiot, okay? It's just crazy the world we're living in. But all right, let's get to the next topic. Bill Nye, the science guy. Remember, guys, he's the science guy, so anything he says goes. He's claiming that the fires in the Carolinas right now are due to climate change. Go ahead and take a look at this clip.
Well, the other thing, everybody, the climate is changing. You can say to yourself it's not, and you can take campaign financing from the fossil fuel industry, and you can pretend the climate's not changing and hurricanes aren't becoming more frequent and flooding isn't more. There's forest fires, wildfires in the Carolinas. That didn't used to be a thing, everybody.
Now this guy, he's just a left-wing tool, just like Neil deGrasse Tyson, you know, but these are these people that the left wing uses, that they're science people. Obviously, he's Bill Nye the Science Guy, and, you know, Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's the foremost expert on the cosmos, right? You know, so whatever he says about space, time, and pretty much anything goes, especially gender, right? I mean, deGrasse Tyson's on the gender scene these days. But yeah, Bill Nye the Science Guy, give me the science, dude. Give me the science on the global warming or the climate change, and not just your fake science that makes the left-wing liberals feel good inside, you know? Because that's all these people really care about, is some guy who's going to spout out some fake science or tell you it's science, right? When he's got no proof or anything, you know? He's just the science guy. That's his science, right? But all right, let's get to the next topic here. This Representative Jasmine Crockett woman, I guess people are claiming that she might be the next person to run for the presidency in the Democratic Party, but just go ahead and take a look at her talking about Donald Trump.
So, unfortunately, we have someone that is occupying the White House, and as far as I'm concerned, he is an enemy to the United States. He swore an oath just like the rest of us. But right now, when you are literally putting us at risk, all because of what? Because you want to convince your followers that you should be a dictator too, that you should never leave the White House because you don't believe that elections should take place. I don't really understand what is going on, and I don't know what it's going to take to get people to wake up.
Yeah, it's just so funny how they're trying to paint this guy as the enemy of the United States and he's a dictator, when he's on the party of peace. You know, he would like world peace, which is pretty insane, right? You know, we haven't had a president in ages. Who knows how long it's been since we've had a president who actually doesn't want any wars and would like to see some true world peace, you know? You remember back in the days of like, oh, what would you rather have, $1 million or world peace? And, you know, if you weren't the guy who said world peace, then you were the selfish asshole who wanted the $1 million, you know? And it was always world peace or ending world hunger, right? But you can't really end world hunger unless you have world peace, so that became the number one thing back in like the 90s, right? But now it seems like world peace, I mean, nobody wants world peace. We need to have more and more wars, but it's only Trump is the one calling for no wars, right? He's on the side of, let's get this done so I can just go focus on America. And Zelensky, he's the dictator, right? He's the one who's paused the elections because it's a wartime, so it's just too unsafe to have an election. Even though his people probably hate him, he's sending their kids to war just to die for, you know, a couple inches of land. He's not going to give up 1 inch, folks, so he's going to keep sending your kids to die. But, you know, we have to pretend like he's the darling because the left loves him, you know, and he's just so great. He's the greatest leader we've perhaps ever seen. That's the left for you. He's perhaps the greatest leader we've ever seen, you know, and if you don't like him, then you're just a racist, basically. It's coming down to the point where if you don't like Zelensky and you have a problem with the guy, you're a racist and you might be a transphobe at this point. But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.